My name is Michael Collins. I taught for almost 40 years English and American literature at Georgetown University, and I've continued to teach for Encore Learning since my retirement in 2020. The course I'm teaching is called Eight Modern British Poets, and we will look at one or two poems by each of those eight poets. While the course from time to time will inevitably consider the context of the poems, its main focus is on the poems themselves, and the classes will be devoted primarily to a close and careful reading of each poem in order to discover what the poem says and also what the poem does, the impact that it makes on its readers because of the language that the poet chooses and because of his use of the traditional poetic techniques of English literature. While some, but not all of the poems may be difficult initially, one goal of the course is to make the work of these remarkable poets more accessible, more enjoyable, more rewarding if you go on to read their other work. The course will consist of 5 classes. After an introduction in the first one, we will begin simply to look at one or two poems by each poet as we move through the semester. The last class, or actually the last half of the last class, will be devoted to a look back at some of the issues that have been raised in the class, and also a consideration of what other poets one might have included in a course such as this. There'll be time for discussion in each of the classes. The 8 poets are Gerard Manley Hopkins, Thomas Hardy, W.B. Yeats, Wilfred Owen, T.S. Eliot, W.H. Auden, Dylan Thomas, and Philip Larkin. Gerard Manley Hopkins died in 1889, and Philip Larkin died in 1985. And so what we get is about 100 years of modern British poetry covered in the course. All the poems we shall read will be available in the course file, which participants can access once they've registered for the course. I've gathered together all the poems and put them in a single file. So if you'd like to reading some poetry, looking closely at the way poetry works, I'd welcome you to join 8 modern British poets.